All right, it looks like the recording started, so I'm going to close my camera and hit the start button, and you guys have fun, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye. See you later.
Bye.
Hi, I am Kendra.
Wait.
No? Not yet.
Hello.
Hi, Jill.
Hi. How are you doing?
We're good.
All good?
Yeah, and you're in London?
Yeah, in London. Hi from London.
And we're live from Tucson, Arizona.
Amazing.
Yep.
Can everybody hear us okay?
All right. All right, so we have people showing up from everywhere, I hope.
Cool. We'll just give it a few minutes to get everybody in, I reckon. Just let us know if you can hear us, okay?
I can hear. Yeah.
Vermont. Katarina from London.
Oh, hi, Christine from
All right.
London.
Oakland, yay. Oakland's celebrating, along with the rest of the world, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I think we're good. I think we can... Hey, Susan. I think we're good. I think people can hear and see. Do you want to start, Brian? Kendra?
Kendra, all right. Kendra's going to tell a little bit nature's geometry.
Yeah, this is a symbol that represents nature's geometry. And me and Brian registered nature's geometry in 1989. So we've been a little over 30 years together. And what was in our heart at the time was to connect people to precious earth. We were just in love with nature and what nature provides. That was precious, like the best of the mineral kingdom, the gemstones, and the best of the plant kingdom, the essential oils. I got into aromatherapy and making perfume and created a line called Aroma Jewels, which became more like an invention rather. Because I was the only one doing it, Shuem. And Aroma Jewels is pretty much symbolizes what we were about. It's like a synergy of the best of the mineral and the best of the plant. Yeah.
So that was one of our first real product creations, and that was 1989.
Wow.
Kendra's going to show.
Brian, I usually am the one designing for Aroma Jewels, but Brian did an amazing design for Aroma Jewels, which I wanted to show. It's a lightning bolt.
Lightning strikes. That's right.
And then with the fragrance that comes with it, it's also a new fragrance called Earth. And we put it in like that, and it goes down and then in a little well. And then once it's in there, it can turn upside down and come out. Then you have this fragrant gem.
So the new fragrance is called Earth, and it's a brilliant design. Kendra's an aromatherapist, old school. She has a lot of knowledge. So
it's called
anyway,
classic.
It's a classic. Okay.
What I love about you guys is how much you kind of really use all the different energetic properties of the stones and then the herbs, and then mix it with all of your experience with geology and mining and sustainability. It's just the whole kind of package, isn't it? With you guys.
Yeah. It's a family package.
Yeah. A family package. It's really inspirational as well. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I was just thinking about this as before we got on here, and I just realized we're now 3 generations because our granddaughter inherited the prospecting gene. She's brilliant at finding stones. Seriously.
On the ground.
No, seriously. And by the way, before that, she's my stylist. She said, "You wear this and this," and so I said, "Oh, great, okay." So
she's 9 years old.
She's showing me stones the other day.
Yeah.
Is that the same grandma? Yeah, she's good. She knows that stuff.
So this is, just to get on with it, this is a beautiful natural crystal. It is not polished. You see the brilliance? And you see the rutile in here. Now, rutile comes in a variety of hues and tones. And I've been really interested in the coppery and more reddish tones. And so I'm calling them cinnamon. an auburn rutile. But this is a beautiful natural crystal from our mine in Bahia, Brazil.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your mine and kind of about the area and the Pyramid Mine?
Okay, that's an orange one. So I was taken out to this remote part of Brazil back in 1983 and have been connected ever since. And it's a beautiful community in one of the rarest biomes in the world. You have the Atlantic rainforest meeting the Cerrado and the Caatinga, the Brazilian desert. It's extremely exotic and remote. So, and this most exotic rutilated quartz comes from there. So it's a very special place. And in recent years, the last 10 years, I've been pushing for an initiative to help the local population improve their lives. And that's what this conference is all about, really. So I've started initiatives, and you can research that. Jill jumped in over a year ago with the Crystal Clear Initiative, and she's raised money in the UK, which we're currently using to help the locals during the current COVID situation. We're buying food packets and distributing to remote elderly principally, but also some of the mining families. And the long-term initiative will be to also provide dust protection for the miners that lack it, just general improving of the mining situation. And long-term, which I think is one of the most important aspects of this initiative, will be to introduce regenerative agriculture, organic farming as a long-term sustainable process that once the model is set up and going, we can demonstrate it, and it will apply around the world to all artisanal mining communities. It's what we need to do. So that's in a nutshell. And of course, you can research all this through the conference and through my websites, and I encourage you to.
Oh, speaking of website, I wanted to add just quickly that Aroma Jewels has a website. They can read more about it, and it's just plain aromajewels.com. Yeah,
we'll post those on this chat.
Amazing. And that's kind of how our paths crossed, isn't it? When I was so my background is I've got a crystal business in London called She's Lost Control. And for like 3 years, I've been trying relentlessly to get mine to market crystals and to kind of just open a dialogue in the industry about ethical crystals and ethical mining. I'm actually a jeweler as well, so I've got a bit of background from that side of things. And I found, Brian, I found you, I think it was the end of 2018 when we first started emailing. And then you came to see me when you were in London, and we met that time. And then from there, it just kind of built up. But for me, what I could really see, what was really incredible that you guys have been dedicating like decades to, was your whole model that you were building on the Bahia initiative, which is everything you've just explained. But for me, it felt like it just wasn't, I just wanted to shout about it and to kind of support and help get the word out there. So that's kind of when we then met, talked about the Sustainable Mining Project.
Yeah, and then I told you, come to the conference in Chicago. And
you came to the conference. I came to the conference last year, and you know, it was incredible. So again, it was like the conference does birth lots of amazing projects. And one of them was Crystal Clear, and it's a social enterprise. So it's a not-for-profit, and it's all of the proceeds go back into whichever mining community we'll be working with. So the first mining community is the community in Bahia, the cooperative, which is around Brian's area. And yeah, 100% of the profit goes back into that community. So it's really exciting, but it's just great that you've obviously initiated all of this groundwork and this amazing kind of transparency in the supply chain.
Someone has to do it, right?
Yeah, it's a big undertaking. It's huge, as I'm discovering, but it's really rewarding when you kind of see the results and the positive impact that you can make on these livelihoods.
Yeah, we're stoked. We're stoked. So, what else shall we chat about? I mean, well, Jill, I love your store for one, and she has all these great associates and people that work with it, collaborators. She's got all these great events that she's involved in London there. I think it's very exciting. And it's people like Jill. Yeah, it's people like Jill that are going to be more and more of these people that find our work and the work of this conference in general that we're going to build. And I have some news that just came in today. For example, I've been pushing these initiatives along with a few other pioneers in the industry for over a decade and a half at least. And today, I was contacted by the Brazilian federal support arm for the jewelry industry in Brazil, asking me if that wants to perhaps support our initiative in Bahia. And the ICA, I know the International Colored Gemstone Association, is looking for viable projects. So we may get support from the ICA. And that just literally 1 hour ago, I got that message. So this is really exciting.
Amazing. That's incredible. Really good. Because I think, with the obviously with COVID, none of us had planned this, obviously. In all the funds that we've raised to date, a lot of them are having to go towards care packages and fun, to help these remote communities, because all the buyers have left and a lot of these communities are kind of living hand to mouth.
Yeah.
But the original plan, like you said, was to kind of start allocating these funds to safety masks for silicosis and for the regenerative agriculture, or a new lapidary and new skills and things like that. So it's
once the funding's in place, that we have a sequence of projects which involves not only agriculture but local lapidary. I can bring, we're skilled lapidary artists, and I can bring in someone and help train on site, so that gives jobs locally, adds value to the product. The other thing that I was involved in was helping set up a cooperative with the miners. We have over 1,000 members now. And that is the first step in helping these communities, is formalization. So once you become a legal entity, then they are able to sell and ship stones and such legally, and that's important. So you do formalization, and then, like I said, lapidary and agriculture and reforestation. Another area that I'm involved in is in the Amazon. I've been involved in a really amazing project with Swarovski out of Austria, and they've supported a project there where we source topaz, amazing topaz, as a byproduct from tin mining. And Swarovski stepped up, and I was a key person on doing the due diligence and boots on the ground, basically, and help set up processing of the topaz. And now we hope to move into the next phase, which is reforestation, agroforestry, etc. All the things I love. So but the COVID put, stop to everything. So we'll get going again. The world is rebooting. And these are the kind of projects that we need to reboot with, I think.
I think when it starts again, finally, everybody's going to be more focused, and I even think it will be more of an expansion once we get going again. That's a positive thought, anyways.
Yeah. And what else, Brian? What? Tell us something that people might not know about you.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm a prospector, in case you didn't know, and which is old school exploration geology. I'm a geologist. Kendra's showing one of those fantastic stars, that's one of the magic points of the rutile, is, for those that are watching, It's an epitaxial crystal growth where, so much reflect. Anyway, the hematite and rutile sort of do a dance, crystallize at the same time. It's epitaxial crystal growth, and it creates these stars. But you asked me other things. Probably not a lot of people know that I was involved in the discovery of Paraiba tourmaline, which is, believe it or not, my two favorite stones, Paraiba tourmaline and related quartz, obviously. But
that was original.
So that I'm a geologist at the original mine, which is Batalha. So we have Paraiba tourmaline in Africa and Brazil. But I'm associated with the original discovery, and indeed to this day, still involved in the original mine. And there's a lot of news that will be coming out about that later.
Amazing. When was it discovered? Was it like the 80s?
Yeah, Heitor started working on this remote hill 1982, and he dug for 7 years with his team of 13 miners, no electricity, no water, no nothing, before they found the first Cuprian tourmaline ever discovered in the world. And he told me that he was guided. Now, those stones would have never seen the light of day if he hadn't spent 7 years there. It's a magical story, and it's a magical stone, obviously. And that stone changed my life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's an impressive stone.
As is golden rutile.
And then the golden rutile, that was my first encounter. Like I said, 1983, I was taken out to the area and fell in love with the place and felt a special connection immediately.
I always think of golden rutile is, in terms of its energy, it's all about really igniting your kind of inner fire.
Yeah. Oh, so, okay, just back to Paraiba. Here's a couple of my pieces with Paraiba tourmaline. One's a sculpture in quartz, and the other is called a Wheel of Light, which is, that's the other thing about nature's geometry. We're designers and inventors. Like the aroma jewel, Kendra invented.
Yeah.
Unique. I came up with a Wheel of Light, which is now design patent, and that's a way to amplify color. And of course, it's related to the Paraiba tourmaline, which inspired me as the catalyst. It's like, how can we make that color bigger so more accessible to more people?
Yeah, because you've got your obviously everything's like an art form. All the cuts that you do are so unusual and unique, which is why I absolutely love all of your golden rutile cuts so much. They're just so different. And you've got a lapidary, haven't you, in Brazil, that you work with some skilled cutters, and you have some really unique shapes that you work with. Yeah.
So we started a lapidary shop in a remote part of Brazil about 30 years ago. And we trained people. I brought equipment down, and it's still going. It's a very small office or operation. And we still have one of the original guys with me. We've been together 30 years. And it's very small, but what we do is we focus on unique and high quality. We don't do production, mass production. That's not what we do.
You can really see that from the finished pieces, though. They're amazing.
Yeah, when you look on what's posted for this event, you'll see a variety of stones, from eccentric to classic, nonconformist. I've been using a lot of natural rough edges in my cuts for a long time. But the other thing, I would invite people that tune into this, either at the moment or in the future, do get in touch with me, because we have a good stock of a lot of unusual things, and we like to deal personally with our designers and work directly with them. If we can help by doing custom cutting for a special project, we do that. These are things that we do. We're literally a boutique operation, and we're a family operation.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Do you want to show some more of your amazing gems?
Well, yes. Okay. This is the photos on the page are a lot better. But like this is a great piece here. You see, this is some new material that was found in June. Now, during this pandemic, it was very complicated to do the logistics of getting this material out of Brazil, but we've been able to do that. From the mine, my miners and the other miners in the region. So that would be an inspired cut. It's amazing material. It's one of the photos. Now this is more of a classic design, simple cabochon, but again, extremely fine golden material, right? Golden rutile in water clear quartz.
Explain about the star. It's I like to say it's 3 minerals in one: titanium dioxide, hematite, and quartz.
Okay, so here you see the hematite at the core. It crystallized in a hexagonal crystal. The rutile oriented on the axis, so you got perfect 60-degree angles. And this is epitaxial. Now it's a technique used in producing computer chips, where you vapor deposit atoms on crystal substrate. So here it is happening naturally.
Fantastic.
And it formed about 500 million years ago. Right?
Incredible.
Wow.
And that in itself is just a statement piece, isn't it?
Yeah, so on this one, for example, this is one of my ones where I'll just explain. It's a great stone. I left this side rough and edgy, and then you see the hole. So you can just put it on a cord, chain, leather, and we polish our holes. So that is a very difficult task, but you'll notice on our products we take the time to polish the holes. I want to show you something that just came out, that we just finished. This is like for very much couture. This is that material that was found in June. This is an amazing blade of rutile in quartz coming off of a big hematite crystal. The backside, look, you can see the hematite here. So we just polished it off. So this is amazing material. This isn't found often.
No.
This quality.
They really are works of art, aren't they? Nature's art.
Yeah. So the thing is a piece like this, there's no way I could ever cut that up into little pieces and be more commercially viable. I'm going to make it as most spectacular as I can. Now, obviously, it becomes a more expensive piece, but I don't have the heart to cut it into little bits.
Of course.
Gem scene is another technique that I came up with. Now, this is a phantom crystal. Let's see if we can get. You see, there's a phantom quartz there that looks like a mountain. And then floating inside the quartz is a gemstone, which I've placed inside the crystal. And so the gemstone looks like a planet or something floating out there above the mountain.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And this is very simple. It's just stone with a gemstone and one of our polished holes that you can just put it on a chain. So that's another one of our invention.
Is that a little garnet inside of that?
Yeah, the garnet, yes. It's a chrome red garnet. Of course, this light, you're not going to see that. It looks almost like a ruby, but it's a chrome garnet from Navajo Reservation in northern Arizona.
Amazing.
It's a material that I was involved in back in the mid-90s, and we sourced it direct from the Navajo. And so here's a gemstone. nestled in there. And this stone, for example, would make a badass ring, or whatever.
Is that another phantom?
You see how it's just nestled in the matrix? It looks like a gem in the bottom of the sea in sand or something. I don't know, whatever it is, but that's a good one.
Anybody that's buying anything from you is really buying something super unique, aren't they?
Everything
really
going on. Yes. Okay. So you'll see this on the site. This particular stone, with all the lapidary work and the chrome garnet from the Navajo, this particular stone is sourced from the Central Plateau of Brazil. I have it on sale here for $160. So the stones on the conference are wholesale, except for the Aroma Jewel. We listed that as a retail, but everything else is wholesale because we want to connect with the designers. And if you come to Tucson, you'll find us. We're going to be at the AGTA show if it goes on, and so far it still is. And if we can put it together, we'd like to do the ethical gem suppliers show in the Masonic Cathedral in Tucson, a 5-minute walk from the convention center. If we can pull that off, it's a real far out show. You're going to like it. We only have like 5 minutes left. Is there any questions or?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wanted to see, did you have some other phantoms there? Some of the stones to show?
More stones. Yeah. Okay.
It was an amazing phantom that you had there.
Oh, the phantom.
And then there was a couple of soulmates, you were calling them, like pairs.
The phantom?
Oh, yeah, that phantom's beautiful.
Okay, let's see.
Phantoms are, if anybody's interested in the kind of more energetic qualities, are all about feeling protected, really cleansing your aura. And they're said to kind of tap into ancient wisdom. So they're really special. That's a beautiful piece, that one. It's really
this is, again, water clear quartz crystal. The phantom, the mountain, looks like a mountain. That is actually the outline of the termination of the quartz crystal. And what it is basically like a snapshot, like a Polaroid of the crystal as it's growing.
Yeah.
Now, this is a very special one. An incredible phantom, the way it's in there. And this one, I put a Paraíba tourmaline from the original mine, like a floating planet above the mountain. So
every time I see this piece with the mountain phantom, makes me think of Mount Meru in Tibet, which is considered the center of the universe. But it's kind of nice to look at it as a PowerPoint, that mountain.
I'm just looking at some questions here. Rachel Black said, Jill, Brian, do you think it's important for designers and jewelers to start learning healing crystals as the trend grows? I think that it's whatever feels right for you. So just go with your gut, and it's we have to do everything with integrity and honesty. So if it's something that you're genuinely into, or you genuinely feel called to research more about, then I think that's great. But don't feel kind of forced by the direction of the trend, is what I'd kind of say, I think.
I totally agree with Jill. I've never sold stones based on those assumptions or descriptions. It is really an individual intuition, and Jill's right. So go by your feeling. But if you want to know, yes, stones have a great energy, obviously, and I think they're good in your environment. They're good on your body.
Definitely.
We've always used the practice of listening in, because the questions are always coming out if you listen, if you stop and listen. So we've been kind of like always in this practice of allowing things to come out and be intuitively enhanced, because I remember a time when crystals became so big. When was that?
80s,
87,
mid-80s.
something. Yeah. And then there's a lot of claims. And that bothered us, so many claims about this and that, because that blocks you from relating directly with the piece, with the crystal or stone directly. And there is a relationship that you can create with the piece, and then you can get a lot of information that way.
So Michelle asks, what's your most memorable story working with your miners about their lives in the community? Well, there's so many, but I have a real special relationship with the old timers in this mining community. There's one particular woman, she's in her mid 80s. I go to her house every morning for coffee. She grows her coffee in the backyard. It's the best coffee.
Yeah.
But
when she sees Brian, she says, "Are you here for coffee?"
But she's a beautiful woman. She's the daughter of a woman whose mother was a slave. And she's from the region. She knows all the stories of the herbs and medicines. And she talks about when she was a teenager, how she mined gold and processed it. So that is the true treasure, for me, is the old timers. And I hope to document their stories.
Amazing.
That's why, we love places in Brazil that have stories like this. After the rain, go out and see if you can find little pieces of gold floating out.
So we're going to be cut off in a couple minutes, but Jill, thank you for hosting us or talking with us. And I think people feel free to contact me. I love to educate. I'm an educator, not just in the science, but in the alchemy of it all, and in specifically what we're doing in this conference.
I've just popped on the chat there as well, Brian. If anybody wants to donate directly to the community in Brazil, then they can just go to crystalclear.life, and there's options on there to actually buy a care package, or you can buy a mask, or you can donate whatever amount you want to donate. You can do that really easily on the website.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's a plug.
What? Okay, well, this was short and sweet. That's all I got to say. But we're going to get there. We're almost there. Okay? I really appreciate whoever tuned in.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Feel free to contact me directly. Okay, I'm going to give you my email.
And remember, if you want to hear more about my work with Aroma Jewels, there is the website, aromajewels.com.
Yeah.
And it's fun to look. It's beautiful. A lot of different designs and different stones. Brian is a source. He always finds the different stones.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this industry a long time. I'm a geologist by training. I'm a scientist, but an alchemist. I like to combine the two. And, we just have a great appreciation for this industry and the potential to support,